All of the things that Taraji P. Henson is speaking about when it comes to black female actresses and the pay discrepancy is the same exact thing that Mo Nique was speaking about several years ago. And we clowned her for it. And are we really interested in listening to black women, or are we only interested, like Mo Nique said, after they are no longer here and we write about it and we see a movie and celebrate it? Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, you all? I'm not gonna hold y'all. This, these videos and this interview, Taraji P. Henson, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's touching me. And I felt her pain. Like, oh my God! Like, Taraji P. Henson is currently on like a press tour promoting The Color Purple, and you see her and her other co-stars doing these press junkets and speaking to black female reporters and writers and all of the things, discussing this film and discussing the movie and asking questions. And this is something we don't see a lot, and this is something I talked about on Twitter, is that why, when it comes to movies like this, that these press tours be so emotional. This is the only time that black women are given somewhat of a platform to speak about their experiences in Hollywood, because oftentimes they are not allowed to. And the people who do speak about the pay discrepancies are praised more. And it's no shade. Remember earlier this year, I think it was, where Jessica Chastain said she had to step in for Octavia Spencer because of the pay equity. Like, it just wasn't the same, and she had to speak up for her. And Jessica Chastain was, praised and everything for that. But the same thing would have happened if Octavia Spencer would have spoke up for herself. She needed a quote-unquote white ally to do that. And white women can talk about these things. Like, white women experience pay differences too. If they are experiencing, what do you think black women are experiencing? So when white women talk about it on their tours and all the other stuff and the press, whatever, it's not as bad. And the black co-stars, if there are any on these movies, are not allowed because they should be thankful to be there. That's the same thing that we had told Mo Nique when she was offered that, when she was lowballed for that Netflix special. They did not offer her what she was worth. And people dragged Mo Nique. Honestly, no shade. One of y'all favorite podcast co-hosts was dragging her. I remember it to this day, child. And girl, let me be like Mo Nique said.
Say their names. And if not, like I told Lennar before, keep it on the playground.
Period. We ain't gonna say no names, but if you know, you know. But it's just interesting seeing some of folks rebrands and stuff or whatever. But yes, Mo Nique has spoken about this. She talked about this in 2018. She talked about her experiences with Netflix and the pay that they offer her. They lowball her, and she compared it to Amy Schumer. The connection between Taraji P. Henson and what she's saying to Mo Nique, what she was saying years ago, is so strong and so clear, because Mo Nique is giving a clear example of what she was paid from Netflix compared to what Amy Schumer was paid. And Mo Nique has done other things and has, more accolades, more awards than Amy Schumer. And she's not paid the same. And Taraji P. Henson is talking about she can do a very good movie, can do well, like Proud Mary, Cookie on Empire. But instead of her getting more pay for the next film or movie or whatever, she has to go back down and ask, because they have put her low. Like, oh, they think that, that was a one-time thing, and, we're not going to have that same success. And she even named that they do not translate well overseas. Like, black faces do not translate well overseas. We saw that when it came to Black Panther. We see that with other movies, even John Boyega in the Star Wars movie. Like, Disney, other big studios will hide black faces to appease a bigger demographic. So if they're doing it across, China and whatever to appease their audience, what do you think is happening in the US? What do you think is happening? And we see it in a different version when it comes to colorism. Like, we'll see a constant book adaptation and it's a light-skinned person or a biracial person all the time. Like, girl, there's even conversation about the Magical Negro movie trailer, and I have whole thoughts about that, and it will be dropping out Friday because I gotta write some stuff down for that. But even that, like, love Justice down. I think he's a very talented actor, but he is the trope of the Magical Negro. Like, they see him as a safe, tolerable black that they can put in these movies that are appealing to white audiences, because it's like, we can't put too much black. We can't put too much because we'll turn the audience off. So black women are getting even worse, specifically dark-skinned black women and dark-skinned fat black women and dark-skinned black women who are dealing with disabilities. Like, it goes on and on and on. And this is why it was important for us when Mo Nique was speaking about this several years ago to uplift her and support her in her conversation about that. But people were clowning her. People were clowning and making fun of her like she was just asking for too much. But even Mo Nique said, if I continue to take this, what about the other girls after me? If y'all out here paying me bull crap, what about the other folks? I can't tell you, like, as a social media influencer or whatever you want to call it, how they write me down. When it comes to opportunities and folks asking to promote, or we want to do this with you, they will lowball me. I have had it like a couple of times, honestly. Well, we want you to tell your story about you living with HIV and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, I'm a person, black, gay man living with HIV. Then pay me as such, because you're paying these other white gay influencers way more money than you're paying me. But I'm the demographic that you need to reach out to that you're not able to touch. Like, do I need a white husband for y'all to be able to give me more? Like, is that how it works? Is that how it works? Do I need to be more palatable or whatever to whiteness to make y'all more comfortable in paying me? Like, and I'll tell folks, like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So to see Taraji P. Henson, essentially like break down like in tears to discuss this, and it was just so heavy, and folks are asking, why are these junkets and stuff so heavy? This is the only time that black women have space to be free to talk about their experiences in Hollywood, because they are not allowed to do it any other time. Like, Taraji P. Henson even said she had to almost walk away from The Color Purple because of, pay equity issues with them. Billionaires running stuff, the $1 billion studio. Why are you not paying the black folks? Like, the press and stuff for this movie is doing good. It's doing good. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't. But one of my followers made a good point. This is how billionaires stay rich. By exploiting labor. That's how it works. So that's why we don't need to be using terms like, oh, you're doing unskilled labor, like, child, it don't take much to flip burgers and all that other stuff, because it should not be about any of that. It should be about adequate pay. Because if they are unskilled and it's not really a serious job, then how are corporations able to bring in billions of dollars each year from these folks? Just because you see fast food workers asking for a living wage, $15, $20 an hour, should not upset you, who is probably making the same amount of money with a degree. You shouldn't be mad at them. You should be mad at the corporation or the company that you work for underpaying you, period. You should be mad at them asking you to have a degree and you in debt, and then we supposed to vote for a person who's supposed to be erasing student loan debt for everybody. That was some of the promises that were made, and then what happened to it? Because we need to be applying the pressure to the folks who have and the folks who do not want us to have anything. Like, they're going to continuously exploit us as much as possible. That's the conversation. So I appreciate Taraji P. Henson talking about it. It was a lot watching it. I'm not going to hold you, but I'm glad that she felt comfortable sharing her experiences and stuff and getting that out. She talked about, what happened after Empire. She talked about, like, Cookie Lion was a successful character. Like, they wanted more of it, and they wanted her to continuously play this role and stuff. It's just like, girl, where's the coin at? Where's the coin at? What happens after she said she had to fire her whole team after it? Because just like, why am I not getting other deals? Taraji P. Henson and that Cookie character, everybody loved it. That was one of the reasons why a lot of us watch week after week. Like, Empire was doing amazing. It was doing amazing. And also, Taraji P. Henson said, this is why she's always working. This is when we talk about wealth versus income. That's why we have to stop getting wealth confused with income. Steady income does not mean wealth. If you can't work for a year and then you go broke, or you have to work all the time, that's not rich, that's not wealth. That's not wealth. Wealth is you sitting on your butt. Them the ones we need to be chop, chop, chop. Them the ones chop, 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 quickly. Those are the ones, because they're exploiting a lot of us. Folks who own land, folks who own pharmaceutical companies, food, water, all the other stuff, exploiting. Like, girl, hello? What's going on? What's the tea? But that's a whole nother conversation. It's some of my criticism with a lot of things, but I'm glad, once again, that Taraji P. Henson felt comfortable talking about this, because it was a needed discussion. And I hope that it puts a fire under folks. I'm glad that Taraji felt comfortable talking about this, and I hope that was therapeutic for her. And she shined a light on it, and we should not be taking this for granted at all. And it's something that we need to, think about. Like, we need to be really thinking about when it comes to, like, Black women talking about their experiences, listening to them. Because that situation that happened with Mo Nique should have never, like, they clown Mo Nique for asking for too much. They said that she was asking for too much, she need to shut up. Now you see all these folks retweeting and agreeing with Taraji. That's all I got. Tell me what y'all thought about the commentary. Tell me what y'all thought about the interview if you have watched it, and your thoughts on The Color Purple, because I have never seen the first one, and y'all can eat me up for it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.